Hello and welcome to Just a Guy, your social educator, your LLB, your loony left bully. That's right, it's me, Mike D, Mike Duckerberg. How's everybody doing today? Alright, I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. I know everything's done. Kind of calming down. I hope you guys spent all your money on Black Friday, got some of the Christmas shopping done and out of the way. And we're going to take a look at today, why does the Socialist Marxist Communist Party just hate America? Why? There's got to be a reason, right? But let's take a look at some of the things that they're doing that are showing their despise for the American citizens. But before we do that, real quick, I'd like to say hello to Seda and Seraphin. Good to see you guys tonight. Tonight's episode is going to be brought to you by TNT Health. It's located at 9450 SPID there in Corpus Christi, Texas. For any of you guys in Corpus, go ahead and stop on down Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 6. If you haven't experienced a TNT Health experience, it's definitely different from your other supplement stores. They actually want to know what your goals are. Once they know what your goals are, they then set you up on a program to help you attain your goals. They look at your eating, they look at your exercising, and they look at your supplements. They put all three of those together, have each one of them aligned towards whatever your specific goal is, and then they will help you out in attaining it. And not only that, they'll actually program in some cheat days, some cheat meals, whatever it is, to make sure that you don't have to give up all of your favorites, but put it in moderation and still get the results that you want to get. Imagine that. Again, stop on by TNT Health, 9450 SPID, right there in Corpus Christi, Texas, Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 6. It's in the middle. We're in about the middle of sugar season, so there's no better time to start than now, right? Because it's your health today, not tomorrow. But I'd like to start off myself today, anyways. Let's talk about the lying, American-hating, Socialist Marxist Communist Party. Now, if you remember, just a few months ago, 8 p.m. Joe and the original border czar, Kamala Harris, they decided to tighten up the borders a little bit because they said they cared about you. They cared about the borders. They cared whether or not, you lived or died. They cared whether or not your stuff was getting broken into. They cared whether or not, that the illegals were just coming across the border. And they tried to blame it on the Conservative Party, tried to blame it on the Republicans, saying that it's their fault that all this is going on. Yet, in just a stroke of a pen, 8 p.m. Joe and the border czar were able to start to stop some of the infiltration here into the United States. And hello, James, like to welcome you aboard today. But then November 5th came, and they lost. They lost big. They still don't understand why they lost, by the way. There's a couple of them that are more centrist that understand, hey, maybe the rising inflation, maybe the fact that we're letting illegals in left and right, maybe these are some of the issues that the American people actually care about. Not 8 p.m. Joe, not the original border czar Kamala Harris, not that Socialist Marxist Communist Party. You know why? They're actually making it easier. Right now, it is going to be easier, starting now, to get into America illegally, an open border. Right? How are they doing that? Because they have an ICE portal app that they launched starting in December, and today's December 1st, so I'm guessing that it's probably starting today. It actually loosens up the key immigration policies that President Trump is going to enact. Okay? Now, this app, when you use this app, migrants actually get to skip the in-person check-in with the ICE instead of having to actually go in and check in. So now they just download this app and you know what, hey, I'm coming across, see you later, bye. You don't have to check in with an ICE official or border patrol or anything like that. You just walk your happy ass across the border. Now, if I'm coming across, I'm bringing my family, I'm bringing my friends, because there's nobody there to check on me. right? So in all of APM Joe's wisdom, in all of the original Bordazar's wisdom, Kamala there, they've decided to loosen up the borders. Now these are the same people, mind you, that said they care about you, that said they want to make sure that you're safe and that they're going to protect the females and they're going to protect our women and everything else. And what do? Just weeks after they get their asses handed to them, they turn around and they make it even more difficult for President Trump to do his job when he's in office. But even more importantly, they're letting more criminals come across and they're making it easier. Now, not only that, this app has some serious glitches. Okay? It does not track the migrant's location if you have an Android or if you have a laptop. So unless you're using an iPhone, it does not track where you're at. So even if you decide to check in via your new portal app, it's still not going to track you if you have an Android or if you have a laptop. Unless you have the iPhone, they have no clue where you're at once you enter the United States. Kind of a little glitch. You would think maybe they would want to hold off on that, saying, hey, you know what? About half, if not more, the people that are coming across the border, we have no clue where they're at once they get here. We might want to maybe just hold off on this app a little bit while we get that fixed, you know? But that's not the only thing that the app doesn't do. The app doesn't check for past arrests or outstanding warrants. We already have over 13,000 convicted murderers that the Bordazar, Kamala Harris, and APM Joe have already let into our nation. We have over 16,000 sexual assaults, pedophiles, and all that other crazy criminal activity on top of the 13,000 murders that the Bordazar and APM Joe let in. Now, this app doesn't even check for outstanding warrants or past criminal records. So we have no clue who we're letting in. Right? Do you think they might want to maybe check on that? Right? Nah, none. So, and then, even on top of all this, you can actually opt out of the government being able to track you at all. So even if you have an iPhone, you can actually just opt out of that tracking process completely. You're like, hey, we need to track you to make sure that, you know, once you get here into America and you actually show up for your court date and everything else, you're like, nah, you don't need to know where I'm at. Trust me, I'll be there. I'm coming over here illegally, so my word is my honor. You don't need to track me. You don't need to know where I'm doing, where I'm at, where I'm going, anything like that. So when I commit my crimes, you have no clue what I'm doing. When I kill another female, you have no clue what I'm doing. When I sexually assault a child, you have no clue what I'm doing. When I break into a series of homes and steal all the stuff, especially around Christmas time, you have no clue what I'm doing. This is the Socialist Marxist Communist Party continuing to allow the invasion of the United States. Let that sink in just for 1 minute. This party is the one that's supposed to be about caring. If we could save just one life. They're not talking about the females that are going to get murdered. They're not talking about the kids that are going to get murdered from pedophiles. They're not going to talk about the women that are getting sexually assaulted. Not those lives. Not those lives. Those are the lives, the people that we don't want to save. We want to save the illegal immigrants that come over here that are murderers. We want to save the illegals that are sitting there as pedophiles and sexual assaultists. We want to save the lives of the criminals that come over here. Those are the lives they want to save. Why? Why do they want to save those? Because they think when they vote, they're going to vote for the Socialist Marxist Communist Party because they allowed them to come over here in the first place. That's what this is all about, guys. They don't give two craps whether you live or die, whether your mom lives or dies, your sister, your brother, your dog, your cat, your goldfish. They don't care. Just so these illegals go and vote for the Socialist Democrats, the Marxists, the Communists, whatever you want to call them. Only thing they care about. Right? And they're actually expecting up to 100,000 migrants in the first wave. So between now to January 20th, we're going to add over 100,000 new illegals. You don't think that the new Bordazar, the real Bordazar, Tom Homan, job isn't difficult enough already? You don't think that President Trump's job isn't difficult already? When you got a bunch of governors, district attorneys, and mayors out there saying that they are going to fight against the Trump administration because they would much rather see these illegal criminals survive than stick up for their own people. Last time I checked, guys, that's borderline treason. Check out what the penalty for treason is. We're going to talk, I like numbers. Anybody that's seen me before, they know I love numbers. 2023, 3.2 million entries. That's up from the previous record of 2.7 million set in 2022. And in New York City alone, not the state, New York City alone, spent $3.7 billion in housing, food, and other costs in 2024 for all these illegal migrants, all these illegal aliens. $3.7 billion in one city. That's your taxpayer money. That's my taxpayer money. That's your neighbor's taxpayers' money. That's everybody's taxpayers' money is being spent to house, clothe, and take care of these criminals. And I don't care if you came over here and you haven't broken a single law before you came over here. If you came over here illegally, you're a criminal. And now you got aiding and abetting on a whole new level by APM Joe, by the border czar, Kamala Harris, by allowing this app to open up, function, and go. And then you have California, Massachusetts, Colorado, New Jersey, and a couple of others out there saying that they are going to fight against President Trump's administration to deport these criminals. Again, I said it before, if I was in one of those states tomorrow, when those offices open up, I'll be calling for a recall. I'll be calling for a special election. I'll be calling places to get signatures to make this happen and get those traitors out of your office. When your governor, when your DAs, when your mayors are focused in and support the criminals more than their own citizens, it's time for them to go. You can't argue that. It is time for them to go. And if that's what you want, by all means, stay there. Don't come down to Texas because we don't want you. Please, stay in your little states where you think that it's okay to have illegal migrants and illegal criminals and illegal murderers and sexual assaulters and pedophiles. If that's what you want in your state, please stay there. Something else. You've heard me talk about this before. The climate change hoax. Right? It's not just the Socialist Marxist Communist Party here in the United States that's propagating this. It's all over the world. Okay, why? Why do they do it? Because it's about money and it's about power. If they can convince you that the human race is destroying the planet and they need to tax you and steal your money and then tell you what you can drive, what you can cook with, where you can live, how much food you can buy, how many clothes you can buy, how far you can travel, they own you. They don't care about you either. They don't care about the planet. Make no mind, they don't care about the planet. They care about the money and the power. That's it. But they're back at it. See, because it's this CO2 thing and this methylene. Geez, I am having a brain fart right now. Methane, sorry. It's not going over very well because fossil fuels are making a return. They're starting to understand that this green energy that they're propagating right now, yes, it's going in the right direction. It's making great strides. I'm not saying it's not. And it is actually fantastic. Some of these products are actually fantastic. But it's not there yet. They're trying to make all these regulations and cut downs on all this stuff and cutting off the fossil fuels when, in order to do a lot of these green energy projects, you need fossil fuels to build it, to supply the power, whatever the case may be. right? So fossil fuels are still very much a huge piece. So what are they doing now? They're focusing on another way that they can now steal your money. See, because the Earth's tilt on the axis is up to 31.5 degrees now. So the Earth usually sits between like 21 and 24 to 24.5 degrees is what they say. And now it's at 31.5. And this is all due to you evil, evil human beings. You are causing the Earth to tilt even more. Now what they're doing is they're saying that groundwater has a huge factor in this. Now they did a 17-year study and they revealed that they pumped out 2,150 gigatons of groundwater over the course of the 17 years all over the planet. Okay, so that 2,150 gigatons of water that has been pumped out and around has caused the axis of the Earth to go from here to here. Okay, and this is due to you evil, evil human beings. See, because when you're drilling, when the ice caps are melting, all the water is redistributed, which means the weight's redistributed, and then it causes the Earth to tilt at a different angle. You know, so that's what they're saying. Okay, so I'm saying that it's you evil human beings that not only are killing us with CO2, with methane, but now you're causing the Earth to tilt. So this is just another way they're coming after you guys. Don't fall for it. Okay, I'm sure the Earth's axis is tilted, right? The Earth's been around for billions of years, and they're trying to say that it's only been in this little area. Well, that's all that they know so far. They only have records going back so far. They don't know what the Earth's axis was millions of years ago or billions of years ago. Right? The magnetic North Pole is moving. It's now over Siberia, which is going to change weather patterns, right? And when that happens, the poles cause weather patterns. The ice caps melt, and then the water does shift. But you know what else actually affects the Earth's axis and tilt, and what also affects the magnetic North Pole and South Pole is the core. All the molten iron and all the other products that are in the Earth's core, when that changes, so does the Earth. Now, last time I checked, I'm pretty sure you evil human beings haven't affected the core yet. But see, they don't want to focus on that because we have nothing to do with the Earth's core, and they can't tax you on that. They can't get you for that. But they can, however, get you for water. So the next attack is going to be after the groundwater, how the ice caps are melting, which is going to connect. That's how they're going to connect it into their overall scheme of the evil greenhouse gases, right? Now I went to a website that actually tracks the Earth's tilt, and I forgot to put it down here. And you know me, I like to come with facts, so I apologize. But on November 30th, this is the most recent data I can see. November 30th, 2024, at noon. The Earth's axis tilt, or mean, was 23.43604 degrees, or 23 degrees, 26 minutes, and 9.7 seconds. Which means it's 0.00001 degrees or 0.04 seconds less than it was 30 days ago. So what does that mean? That means that the tilt is actually less than what it was before. So all this hubbub and all this freaking out about how the Earth's tilt is going to keep going, it's actually starting to come back the other way. It's amazing because the Earth kind of does stuff that it wants to do regardless, right? They even looked at Antarctica and the Arctic circles. And as of November 30th, 2024 at noon, they're 1.2 meters or 4 feet closer to the poles, which means the axis is coming back. The Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn are also equally closer to the equators in the past 30 days, which means the Earth's axis is coming back. But this is going to be a new focus. They started a couple years ago. They're really amping it up now because they have President Trump in office. He's going to pull us out of the Paris Accord, and they need to figure out another way, another avenue to steal your money. And imagine the power they have if they can now regulate the water industry even more. The amount of water you can drink, the type of water you can drink, what you can use your water for. Not just in drought-stricken areas, but everywhere. Absolutely, God knows exactly what he's doing, right? The Earth's sustained itself for thousands of years, if not billions of years, all on its own, right? We used to hear about the ozone layer having holes in it. You know what you don't hear about that no more? Why? Because they actually found out that when they open up the ozone, the Mother Nature, the Earth actually opens up the ozone layer so that gases that are trapped can get out. When there's too many gases, Mother Nature and the Earth actually herself will open up the ozone layer, allow gases to seep out until it comes to a certain point where the ozone closes itself back up and quote unquote heals itself. You don't hear about this anymore because every time these climate scientists open their mouth, they're wrong. Not like 80% of the time, 50% of the time, 100% of the time. They're like 0 for 47. Now let me ask you, if I was on your baseball team and I'm up there getting ready to bat and I'm 0 for 47, are you keeping me in the game? Am I now a reliable player? Or you're putting me on the bench? You're putting me on the bench. These guys are 0 for 47 in all their predictions. But yet people still buy into this hoax. We need to stop that. Okay? I'm just letting you guys know what's coming up. I like to make sure that we stay ahead of the garbage that they're trying to pull. All right? It's just yet another way the Socialist Marxist Communist Party doesn't like you guys because they want to control you. They want to control every facet of your life. From taking all of your money to making sure they're telling you what to drive, where to live, how to live, what to cook with, what to wear, how to wear it, how many miles you can drive, all that. And now possibly they want to look at controlling your water consumptions or water preferences or whatever the case may be. Just keeping you guys up on the next steps. Let's go back to the election though. We're going to kind of backtrack a little bit. November 5th comes, Trump in a landslide. November 6th. Now I remember, because we live here in the great state of Texas, we talk about Texas becoming their own state, their own nation, as the Republic of Texas once again. Every time we hear that, we hear how we can't do that. Right? The left, the loony left. Well, you can't do that. You can't secede, blah, 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 blah. But yet, you got Liz Kruger, Democrat, New York state senator. This is the first time she said it. She believes that New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Vermont should all secede from the United States and join Canada. See, because she believes that Trump's policies are going to hurt so bad that New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Vermont all should leave the United States and go join Canada. Mostly over tariffs. Now, not sure if Liz realizes that if President Trump institutes a 25% tariff And it stays there because Canada doesn't want to help out with the migrant problem, the illegal immigration problem, and the drug problem like fentanyl. That 25% tariff is going to stay there. So regardless of the United States or Canada, it's going to affect you on both sides there, Liz. Okay? We've already talked about tariffs and how they don't really... this is something that President Trump has already done before, and we had a fantastic economy under President Trump the first time. Okay? But she also says that this is due to the mass deportation as well. So again, this is your socialist, communist, Marxist woman that hates America and says, we need to keep all these illegal criminals here. We don't need the tax-paying, the honest American citizens. I need to defend the illegals that are here. So that just tells you exactly who she is. Okay? Now, she's not stupid completely, right? Borderline. She understands that by not participating in the mass deportation, that it will cause cuts in their federal funding. Okay? Because that's really what it's looking like. Okay? The Board of Tom Homan says that he hopes that those that don't cooperate with getting the criminals out of the United States are punished by withholding federal funding. And so that looks like that's something that President Trump might be throwing around there. I don't know, haven't heard, not sure. But Liz Kruger here, she says, and I quote, and I offered, even though I hadn't gotten an agreement from other states yet, that I thought New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Vermont would combine to be a great new province as the Southeast Province of Canada. So that's what she's proposing. The name of the province would be is the Southeast Province of Canada. Okay? And even when you look through the very next day that evening on Tuesday, the 5th, and the very next day on the 6th, the searches for moving to Canada peaked Google Trends. Okay? So, now I'm a succession guy. They want to leave. I'm good with that. That's my personal opinion. I know, everybody has their own opinion on that one. But if you want to leave, then you can go ahead and you can leave. I'm all right with that. But Liz here, the New York State Senator, she thinks that New York should be part of this. Their Governor Hochul, came out last week and said that if there's a illegal criminal, she's going to be the first one to call ICE. So that kind of tells you where she's at. And also, New York went to the borders of Kamala Harris, but Trump actually received 44% of the vote. He wasn't far off from taking that state. So Ms. Kruger there, if you think that New York is going to be on your side on this one, you're fighting a huge uphill battle. There are a lot of people that are sick and tired of you socialists, Marxists, communists, and the fact that you're trying to destroy America. The fact that you stick up for criminals over citizens. People are sick and tired of it. So, I don't know about Massachusetts, Vermont, but New York, Trump received 44% of the vote there. That's the closest that New York has come to going red since President Reagan in the 80s. So it's been quite a little while. It's been like 40 years. So you can see where he's at. Now the succession isn't just held to the blue states. You see some red states succeeding too. But their idea of succession, besides Texas of course, is a little bit different. Rural counties in states like Illinois and California, they want to split off to become new states. They don't want to leave the United States. They want to become new states. Okay? So there's a group, they call themselves New Illinois State. They drafted a new constitution and championed their plans to leave Illinois without moving. Okay? On election day, 7 rural counties in Illinois, they voted contemplating whether they should split from the state. In Iroquois County, they received the highest amount of voters there, 73%, backed it. They love the idea of banding together and creating their own state, with the exception of Cook County, which encompasses Chicago. Okay, so you don't want to bring the riffraff from Chicago into your new state. I completely understand that. You can look at the way Chicago's run. I wouldn't, if I was creating a new state, I wouldn't want Chicago in there either. I get it. So it's gaining some traction. It's not there yet, but they're coming close. In California, the name of the group there is called New California State. Now, the idea here is counties outside Bay Area, Sacramento, Los Angeles, all those liberal counties and cities where they like to hide the illegal aliens and call themselves sanctuary cities, right? Because they again stick up for the criminals versus their own people. It's gaining some ground. It's gaining some ground where, following the November 5th election, Governor Newsom actually had to speak up about it. While he was out and about post-election speaking, he actually said, I don't care who you voted for. I care about Trump supporters. I care about Robert Kennedy Jr. supporters. I care about Tucker Carlson supporters. I care about Charlie Kirk supporters. I care about Ben Shapiro supporters. I care about all people. He even cares about you, just the guy supporters. He didn't say that. I added that in. Who he doesn't care about, though, is Elon Musk. I know that because he said that if President Trump gets rid of the little tax cut on electric vehicles, they're going to maintain that tax cut there in the state on every electric vehicle except Tesla. So Governor Newsom already drove X out. Drove Tesla out. He already drove SpaceX out. You're about to drive X out too. We'll welcome you here. We'll welcome you here in Texas. Don't worry about it. We'll just take all your stuff. We'll take Tesla. We'll take X. We'll take SpaceX. Come on over, Elon. You're more than welcome here. Right? We love you here, bud. Come on over. Right? So in Illinois and California, their idea of succession is to actually break off that state and create their own new state. Which seems great, but the problem is when it gets to the actual Congress. Because that's where the statehood has to be approved. And you already have places like D.C. and Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands that aren't necessarily full states. They receive a lot of the benefits of it, but they don't have any representation in Congress and things of that nature. So for them to be able to just break off, form a new state, and then be accepted by Congress, that's going to be another big uphill battle for them too. So they have to take that into consideration as to if or when they decide to form the new state. So just because you're now New Illinois or you're New California doesn't necessarily mean you become the 51st and 52nd state. That has to be approved by Congress. So that's going to be another hiccup or another uphill battle for them if they decide to so do it. Another one they have is in Oregon, the Greater Idaho movement, right? The pieces of Oregon want to actually break off and become a piece of Idaho. So they wouldn't create a new state there. They would just say, nope, we're no longer part of these wacko loony left in Portland that think it's a great idea to have Antifa run the streets with all that crime and everything else. We want to be back with normal people in Idaho. So let's just be part of Idaho instead. And then also 3 Maryland counties, Garrett, Allegheny, and Washington, asked to join West Virginia. Now, they did this back in 2021. They did get approval from Governor Jim Justice back in 2021. He's a Republican then. But obviously none of the counties have moved over there yet. So don't know where they're sitting. But I'm sure that movement is still hovering around to join from Maryland into West Virginia. So we'll see. So we're seeing a lot of succession, a lot of Americans that are completely unhappy with the Socialist Marxist Communist Party, and they're a complete nut of hatred for the United States. That's really it. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Hate is a strong word, but when you look at what they're doing to the United States and not just the destruction of the United States, the design destruction of the United States implemented by this party. You can't do this on accident, guys. It's designed. They designed all this so that way they can be more in control and continue to rule over you, and to have all these illegals come in so they can maintain that power. This is destruction by design. That's why I say, and I use the term hate. The Socialist Marxist Communist Party absolutely hates each and every one of you American citizens. Because if they didn't, they wouldn't be doing the stuff they're doing I just talked about today. I'm going to try to leave this on a happy note, though. Anybody that's been following, soon-to-be former Congressman Matt Gaetz, absolutely like this gentleman. Now that he's stepped down from the Attorney General position, he's been obviously trying to figure out what he's going to do. And has anybody here been following what he's been doing? If you've been following what he's been doing, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. For those of you that haven't, Matt Gaetz has been on X throwing around the idea of special counsel Matt Gaetz. Think about that. Matt Gaetz could be placed as special counsel without congressional approval. He doesn't need Congress's approval to be appointed special counsel. Then he can go after the criminals and go after them with tenacity. In fact, he said one of the first things he wants to do if he's appointed as special counsel is to go after all the insider trading within Congress. And if anybody knows what's going on in Congress better than Matt Gaetz, there's not that many of them that do. So this will be the perfect opportunity for President Trump to take soon-to-be former Congressman Matt Gaetz, soon-to-be former Attorney General nominee Matt Gaetz, place him in as special counsel, let him go after the criminals that way. Again, no congressional approval needed there. That would be a fantastic move. He's touting it as a possibility. So obviously it's something that he's speaking about. And I don't know if it's gotten to President Trump's ear yet, but it's definitely something to be looking into and paying attention to as we move forward. I know President Trump, he's going to be calling me tonight. He'll be like, so there, Mr. Muck Zuckerberg, what do you think we should be doing? I'm going to tell him, Matt Gaetz, special counsel, and then I'll hang on my little bat phone, and it'll be done, right? Just kidding. But that's it. That's all I got for you guys today. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for joining me in on Sunday night. Absolutely love it. Love doing what I'm doing. Love helping you guys become better social educators. Keep doing what you're doing, guys. We need to keep spreading the word. Keep educating everybody. Let them know what's really going on. Let's keep that loony left at bay. Let's keep making America great again. Let's keep America great again because we're headed in the right direction finally. For those of you that are following me here on Facebook, share. Share it on every social platform you have. Share it on Instagram. Share it on Threads. Share it on TikTok. Whatever you have, share it. Okay? Like, comment as well. Also, head on over to YouTube. Go over there. It's Mike Zuckerberg. You'll see the Just a Guy logo. Click on it. Subscribe. Help me out. We have our lives over there as well. And we're also just beginning to head over to Rumble as well. So you can catch us on Instagram, Facebook, Rumble, and YouTube. So we're growing. We need to get as many social educators out there as possible. Like, share, subscribe, comment, do it all. Let's make it happen. You guys are all amazing. Love each and every one of you. You know I'm going to pray for each and every one of you. And in the meantime, I will see you Tuesday with some more educational information so we can all go out, keep making America great again. Keep America great again. Mike Zuckerberg out.